The long and winding road that is the PGA Tour regular season, it's come to an end and is now a 3-week race that we like to call the FedEx Cup Playoffs. So we are here for a very special playoff edition of Cash Out with the Coaches. I am the coach, Jonathan Coachman. He is one of the top instructors in all of the land, Travis Fulton. Travis, hello.
Coach, how are you? It's playoffs. You ready to go?
I am ready to go. It's hard to believe that after everything that we have been through, that we have arrived in the top 124 will tee it up this week at the Northern Trust because, Trav, Louis Oosthuizen has decided not to play. We'll get into that. But first, your thoughts on Kevin Kisner. Kevin Kisner, real quick, wins a 6-way playoff tie for the biggest playoff in the history of the PGA Tour. And he wins on Sunday to really catapult himself into the playoffs. What did you think about the way that he won?
There was a lot to digest there. Back-to-back weeks, we saw Harris melt down and Abraham Answer sneak in there and win the playoff. And then here we are, 6 guys in a playoff. And even before that, Russell Henley, the guy we've talked a lot about on this show, I was big on him in some of the DFS plays, had some money on him to win. He's clearly struggling with the lead. He's played very well at the Travelers US Open. There he was at the Wyndham, looked like the best player. Bogeys 4 of the last 8 coming in, and doesn't even get into the playoff. And then here's 6 guys. Adam Scott stiffs it, and Brandon Grace has a putt that's virtually the same line as his. And Adam Scott's like standing over there. Like he doesn't even watch the putt.
So dumb.
He doesn't even watch the putt like it's a playoff at your local club and everybody has to turn their back. Like, what am I watching here? And then he moseys down there to 3.5 feet and gets the yardage or gets the greens book out. It's like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah.
And he misses it. And then Kevin Kisner, of course, gets the win on cue. All of this debate about whether he should be on the Ryder Cup. Lots to take in last week, but kudos to Kiz on his 4th win.
Yeah, I love the fact that it was almost a throwaway in the interview asking about the Ryder Cup. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'd love a call from Steve Stricker.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a full Ryder Cup preview here on Cash Out with the Coaches. So we'll get into that. But certainly the way things have gone, you want a bulldog, figuratively and literally, in the locker room, in the team room, all of that. Kevin Kisner would be amazing. So congratulations to Kevin Kisner, the winner at the Wyndham Championship. But now, all the drama, Justin Rose, hard to believe, just a couple of years ago, Trav, he was a FedEx Cup champion. The same year that Tiger Woods had that dramatic scene where he won the Tour Championship, it was Justin Rose that won the FedEx Cup title that year. But this year, he was the person in 126. Had to be heartbreaking for Rose to kind of be now on the outside of his career looking in.
Yeah, it's been, we've talked about Rose too. It's been a strange year, I think, for Justin Rose. For him to be on the outside looking in, Fowler, Fleetwood, it's a new era. And, I've kind of questioned, I think, just how committed Rose has been to his game. I think he's made some uncharacteristic kinds of decisions and equipment when he was the number 1 player in the world. Then he leaves Sean Foley there after COVID. And then, he kind of lost his game and then he kind of put it back together and his back's against the wall and he couldn't quite get it done. Bogeying the last 2 holes, short putts. But I think you chalk it all up. Just been a tough year, bad year for Justin Rose, bad year for Ricky Fowler. So it's weird to see those guys on the outside. And then you see Chesson Hadley sneak in at 125 and you can see the emotion coming out. You can see Roger Sloan, who was 131st going into the week, plays beautiful golf, gets in the playoff, almost wins. He's all the way up to like 90th now. So he plays his way in. Adam Scott moved himself way up. So that's what's fun about this. The playoffs, Coach, have grown on me. And when they first started, I think people kind of made fun of him. Oh, the PGA Tour is trying to do their own. Yeah, of course they are. Like, the PGA Tour is the number 1 brand in golf. I mean, the Masters is probably pretty close, but the PGA Tour wanted to establish something that they could rally behind and have their own month. And I think they're there now. I think they've done it. I think it means something. I think it starts with the Wyndham in many ways when players are trying to play their way in and players play their way out, right? And you're going to see it again this week. There's going to be a lot of shuffling. The points start to mean more now. And I love it. I think it's cool. I really like the Wyndham. I think they do a good job there. And now we're back to Liberty National, which is a golf course that they were at back in 2019. And your boy Patrick Reed won when it was here.
That's right. I'm glad you brought up real quickly, Chesson Hadley. If people haven't seen that interview, go look it up on social media. It was the best interview you will see all year in the world of golf. There's no question about it. He was so emotional. And at the point that he did the interview, he did not know if he had made it in yet because Justin Rose was still out on the course. So for when we say all the time, every shot matters and every point matters, that's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Justin Rose bogeys the final 2 holes. He misses by 1 spot. 1 spot. All right, let's spin it forward now because everybody wants to focus on the playoffs, and we do too. And the beautiful thing about this is that now it's the top 125. And as I said at the top of the show, it's 124. And I just don't understand that when it's a 3-week race now, no longer 4 weeks, it goes 125, 70, 30, that Louis Oosthuizen, and maybe this is his mentality, maybe this is on brand for him, but he's 8th. And now with a staggered start at the Tour Championship with $15 million on the line, how do you not play this week, Travis? Explain that to me. Unless I missed a story that I didn't see, how do you not play this week?
Makes no sense. I mean, he didn't play last week either. Withdrew. So maybe there's something going on there that we don't know about, which certainly from a physical, personal, mental, who knows, right? But outside of that, just withdrawing to withdraw, I mean, it doesn't make sense if you're trying to win the FedEx Cup because the points mean more. Louis right now is currently in 8th place. And keep in mind, Louis is playing incredible golf.
He's a top 10 machine right now.
I mean, he's playing.
That makes it even more crazy.
I know
that every week, even when we thought he was going to be tired, he still had top 10 finishes. Yeah. When he traveled from the Open to the here to here to here, and but this goes back to my thoughts on Louis Oosthuizen as a competitor and as a champion. There are differences to different people. He doesn't have that killer mentality, and to me, this is a perfect example of that. You should want to be as high as you could possibly be. Because now, Trav, for people who are brand new to this format, when you get to the Tour Championship, number 1 has at least a 2-shot lead.
Oh, yeah.
And then over several, it's a 10 or 8 to 10-shot lead. So to me, it makes absolutely no sense. But for the others, the other top 124, now it's time to see who has their game intact. And it is a rotation also. Last year at TPC Boston, back to Liberty National this week. That's very, very important for people who are looking at recent finishes. Look at 2019, not 2020.
Right. Yeah, and it was a year ago that we were seeing some of the best golf that we have seen in Dustin Johnson. He shot 30 under this week last year, folks. 30, won by 11 at TPC Boston, which incredible. Is not easy. What a difference a year makes. Of course, DJ nowhere near that form right now. Looking to find it, looking to be the first back-to-back champion of the FedEx Cup. Join Rory and Tiger as the only 2 that have won multiple. So it'll be interesting to see with DJ. But man, I was thinking about that level of play that Dustin was on at this point last year. It was remarkable to watch him at TPC Boston shoot 30 under par for 4 rounds. That's amazing.
I had a chance to make history at TPC Boston last year. I was going to be the first play-by-play guy to ever call not 1, but 2 59s on the same day. Scottie Scheffler already had it done. Then DJ, I believe he was 9 under through 9 holes or 10 under through 10 holes. And then he parred out. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He parred out, and we were talking about 56, 57, which was legitimately a possibility. Mm-hmm. But it plays to your point of how good he played last year in the fall, culminating in winning the Masters in November. but he's not there this year.
No.
There's a lot of people. And when I looked at the numbers for this week, Trav, there's a lot of value on a lot of really good players this week, which I was very surprised. Were you when you looked at the numbers?
No, I was too. Yeah, good point. I mean, because you look at Dustin now, I mean, he's 17th in the FedEx Cup. Koepka's 15th. Schauffele is 13th, right? Schauffele gold medal. Hideki won the green jacket. He's 14th. Justin Thomas is 9th in free falling right now. So it's interesting. There's a lot of big names there that are down the list, and there's some jockeying to do to get it up to the top part of this list here, which of course is Morikawa first. And there is Jordan Spieth second. How about that? Jordan Spieth, let me remind you, at this course back in 2019, gained 8.5 strokes putting on this golf course in 19. So when Spieth gets on greens that he loves and he starts filling it up, and we know he's a hell of a lot better ball striker this year than he was 2 years ago.
Wow.
He could be scary down the stretch. But hey, look at Harris English. What a season. 2 wins. Doesn't get the respect at 4. John Rahm's just trying to stay clear of COVID at this point. He probably might show up and roll up in a bubble at this point to the first
if
tee.
He gets it 3 times. What if he gets COVID 3 times?
But Abraham Answer's 6. There's another name that's
I like him a lot this week too.
And Answer was second here back in 19. So lots to think about here. Lots to think about going into Liberty.
All right. Well, with that preview being done, let's jump into our picks now. Here's what we do every single week. We take a fictional $100. We split it into 5 different plays, 2 head-to-head matchups. That's our bread and butter. Top 20, a tournament winner, just a little sprinkle, and then a wild card play, which can be anything on the board. So let's jump right in. Your first head-to-head matchup that you loved this week, Travis, is what?
Well, I just mentioned Justin Thomas down there at 9th. The putter has left the building for Justin Thomas. I mean, he is a mess. He's lost his confidence. It will come back. It's just not going to come back this week, and he's not going to be playing at the level that we've seen Webb Simpson. I talked about Webb last week. I thought the 64 that he shot at Southwind was big on Sunday. He backed it up with 2 great rounds on Thursday, Friday, and then, almost worked himself up there and got into the playoff at Sedgefield, which he is a magician at Sedgefield. But make no mistake, Webb Simpson, there's a few things happening here. One is Webb is healthy for the first time all year. And secondly, he's starting to get his game back and play like the Webb Simpson that we're used to, right? I mean, Webb hasn't played anywhere near like we've seen from him. And thirdly, Webb wants to get on the Ryder Cup, coach, and he's got some work to do. So I think there's a lot of moving here. I think Webb is focused. I think JT's game's going the other way. This is easy. -110, Webb Simpson.
Well, Webb is on my anti-Christmas card list right now. So I am a little bitter.
Webb is on my Christmas list.
Because
should we go there, or is that going to annoy you?
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about a parlay I had on Saturday that he literally decided that after playing well for 2 days, down by 4 against Russell Henley, he decided to triple bogey 14, 15, whatever it was. It cost me a 7-way parlay for a ridiculous amount, at least for me, a ridiculous amount of money because I don't bet a bunch of money. But yeah, I'm bitter. I don't care about losing a bet to you.
Yes, you do.
I do that all the time. No, what I care about is when you say it 5 times. That anybody knows if you say a joke 5 times, it's no longer funny.
I didn't say it 5 times.
It was multiple times.
But it got you mad. I think you're more mad at the 100 you lost to me than the parlay.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's annoying when somebody rubs it in 5 times or 3 times, whatever it was. Anybody.
I'm sorry.
Anybody.
I'm sorry if I rubbed it in too much.
So anyway, Webb is on my anti-Christmas card list for a lot of reasons. All right, my first head-to-head matchup is I'm going to go with a guy who played well until the back 9 2 weeks ago, and I think has his game redialed in other than a bad 9 hole. And Xander Schauffele missed the cut here 2 years ago, and I think he's still reveling in the Olympic gold medal performance. And I think this is a really easy one for me especially when I back it up with the fact that he missed the cut here 2 years ago. I'll take BRYSON. I'm only laying 5 cents. Lock this in.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup here. DeChambeau's got good vibes up there. Wingfoot right down the corner, right around the corner where he won the U.S. Open.
Oh,
BRYSON's just the most fascinating person we've seen in quite some time. I just
not close. You're right.
I mean, he is he's fascinating. XANDER couldn't been happier to see XANDER win the gold medal. And I think above the gold medal, Coach, I think the biggest thing that he proved to himself is he kind of put him away, right? Because he struggled late too on Sundays, and he kind of put that tournament away. So that was a big moment for him. If XANDER's close going into Eastlake, look out, because no one plays Eastlake better than XANDER.
Oh, he's so good there.
Yeah.
He is so good at Eastlake. And he is a step on your throat type of player, which is why I've always loved XANDER. But now he is unfortunately found himself in the same category as a Tony Finau and these other guys that can't finish on Sunday. So, yeah, it was a big deal in Tokyo, but there was no money to be won. And, yeah, someone could say the pressure of the gold medal was more than a paycheck. You could argue that. But I want to see him do it on the PGA Tour when it matters. And I don't think this week is going to be that week for him. I really, really don't. But believe me, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. All right, your second head-to-head matchup, Travis, is what?
I spent a lot of time on the second one. Look around, a lot of different matchups. Like you said, there's a lot to think about here and good odds. And, I finally just landed on the fact my gut and what I've been thinking is that Daniel Berger is coming. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's going to be this moment, this next step for him. And winning a tournament like this is his next step. A playoff win, -110 over Paul Casey. I know Paul Casey is a wonderful ball striker. I know he's a very consistent player. I just think Berger is as good as a ball striker as Paul Casey. He's really developed nicely, I think, this year with all of his ball striking, driving, iron game. I don't think the putter's been quite up to what we usually see with Berger, and it's held him back a little bit. It probably kept him out of the playoff at the WGC, where he was 5th. He was 8th at the Open, 7th at the U.S. Open. I mean, these is pretty heady stuff here from Berger. It's easy to get caught up in the consistency of Casey, but Berger's been right there really since the end of June from a consistency standpoint. So I think he's got win equity. I know he's a better putter than Casey. So I just feel like a win's coming, Coach. I'll have some win money on Berger as well, and I'll take him over Casey here at -110.
Yeah, he unfortunately in his career has been caught up in the Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, CANTLAY, that group of players. So nobody ever brings up Daniel Berger, even though he has proven time and time again that when you want to doubt him, he will get the W. He is not afraid to win. I think there are some players that are afraid to win. I just do. And he is not one of those guys. So I like this pick. And you're only laying 10 cents, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like the odds were good. He won the AT&T, right? Back in February.
Played great. Played great there. And he's played pretty well this summer.
Get a big one here.
Yeah. And the WGC at St. Jude, it's hard when you show up at a place and you're expected to play well and then to do that. And he did that again, as he always does in Memphis. So good pick there. All right, my second head-to-head matchup is a man who played well here a couple of years ago. And it's -130, Rory McIlroy. I really think that he's really, really close to putting down one of his special weeks. He likes this course. And when I see a video, Trap, of Brooks Koepka hitting on the range with all of his friends were in the picture. It was a solo shot of Brooks Koepka hitting on the range at the Northern Trust. And it was on TikTok. So apparently the fiance is shooting these videos as well. So when I see that, that's a trigger for me that he's going to be all alone, perhaps missing the cut. And this will be an easy cash for me, perhaps on Friday, if not early on Sunday. So I'll take Rory laying the 30 cents over Brooks. Lock it in.
I like Rory this week too. I don't know if I like him at 30 cents laying it with Koepka, but I mean, I would love to see that. I'd love to see Rory take it to Koepka for sure. I'd love to see BRYSON take it to Koepka.
Oh my God. If they had it, like I've even told them this when I was doing PGA Tour Live. I said, if you guys had any guts, you would put these two together and get it over with. But then you wait too long, and now it's like you're a month or two past when this would have been great.
Well,
it would still be awesome.
I mean,
awesome.
There's a chance because they match them up according to seeding, right? So,
correct.
So Bryson's at 7 and Koepka's at 15. So
they could get there by week 2.
Squeeze before next week, man.
Well, wouldn't that be awesome?
Sign me up.
I can see Brooks being so diabolical that he could look at it and figure it out that if he's not going to win, he could miss a putt or two to get into there or make a putt or two to get into that matchup. I think he would want it. I think Bryson would not. That's if you're putting a lie detector on them, I think that's how they would feel. I don't think
Bryson in his own way, in his own quirky way, has tried to diffuse it. He's just not very good at it. Doesn't have a lot of self-awareness, so it's, he's tried, but his antics keep fueling the fire of Brooks, who puts it back in and then takes this bully mentality. And that's why it doesn't go away. So, but spade to spade, I'd love to see Bryson take it to him.
God, that'd be awesome.
That's hard for me to say too.
I know it is. All right, let's go to our top 20 pick for the week. And you are looking at who?
Well, let's go back to the well, baby. He's coming. Here he comes. Webb Simpson. Plus 40. I got sources out there. I text him. Actually, it just rang. Hold on.
You've got one friend.
No, I don't.
Caddy for Webb Simpson.
Hold on. There it is. This phone's been lighting up. Venmo and sources. So Simpson plus 140, top 20. I just think Webb, I'll go back to what I said. I think Webb, they all want to play in the Ryder Cup, I would assume. But I think Webb really wants to play on the Ryder Cup. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm told. I mean, really wants to be on the Ryder Cup. So he's playing for a lot here. He's got to get it moving. He's missed a lot of time. And he's going into the playoffs. I think his game is coming around, all phases of it. When Webb's clicking, he's a top 10 player in the world. We know that. He can win big tournaments. 7,400 yards at Liberty National doesn't scare me. With Webb Simpson here, he's got the length to do it. At plus 140, that was kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
At plus 140, I thought that was actually, I refreshed it. I was like, really? Wow, okay. Sign me up. That's easy because I love Webb this week.
I don't know how much I love Webb this week. I do appreciate the fact that all these guys, the Webbs, the Kisners, the guys that are outside looking in, are making it known that they want to be on the Ryder Cup team. And I just hope this is the year that they shake it up. I don't know if they have the captain to shake it up, though. And Steve Stricker, I think he's too close with too many players. So it may be a futile effort, but you got to give it that effort. And you got to show the captain that your game is in full flight. Yeah. And doing it this week would do exactly that. So I don't mind this that much. I really don't.
Webb is 46 motivation right now in the FedEx Cup. I mean, that's way down there.
Way down there
for him. I think he needs a win. I think Webb needs a win to really be considered to get. It's amazing how like Phil Mickelson is a lock. Like, really?
He had one good week. That's it.
I don't.
He had one good week. And then we cautioned people about that when he did it because there was a reason he was like 300 to 1 because he's playing awful. And then he's played awful since. So
I push back on that.
Yeah, I don't think he should be on the team either. I really don't. All right, let's go to my top 20 pick. And I'm going to go with the guy that you don't think is going to play very well this week. I do think he's going to play well this week. I think he's ticked off. I think he's motivated. I think he wants to play well here. He played decent here a couple of years ago. And at plus 130, it's kind of in the same boat as your Webb Simpson selection that, to me, you only got to beat 104 other dudes to get a top 20 pick. There's 32 less players than a normal week. So there's way more value on these guys now than a normal big week on the PGA Tour. So lock JT in at plus 130.
JT's had 2 top 20s since the middle of March.
Yep, that's why he's pissed. He's angry.
Yeah, but here's the deal, Coach. When you can't putt, you can get angry all you want. Still doesn't go in, right? It works against you.
Yep.
JT switched things up and it bit him. I talked about it on the podcast, and it bit him, and he is having a hard time finding his way again with the putter. He lost 5 putting at St. Jude, lost 8 at Memorial.
I think the WGC is an outlier, and here's why: because we have a 4 no cut event. By the time you get to Saturday or Sunday, a guy like JT, who is used to either winning, has all the money in the world, anything other than winning doesn't matter to him, and you go into the weekend 15 shots back, it's hard to care if you're JT. So I don't look at that. I look at it as an outlier, not of what's to come. But your numbers are right on. He hasn't played well for 4 months or 5 months.
Yeah.
But I think he's the type of skill like a DJ that if he can flip it, and I'm just gambling, and that's why this is called gambling. I'm gambling on him to do what DJ did a year ago and get his game back right now. May not happen.
Well, but Northern Trust, back in 19, they played here. He finished 12th, lost 1.3 on the greens. And then, if you recall, he went on a tear after that. Won the BMW, 3rd of the Tour Champ. Mm-hmm. Then he turned around and played Safeway, got 4th, played the CJ Cup, won that, won the Tournament of Champions. I mean, like that, that's what Justin does, though, right? When he flips it, it's
tricky. Yeah.
Off he goes. Yeah, look, I'm scared that the putter could come back right this week. I've got someone I got WEBB beating him. So it just seems a level of frustration right now, but who knows? Maybe he's switched it back. You start seeing the ball go in a little bit. Things start to share, but this has been a bad summer for JT. This has been a really bad stretch of golf for him.
Yep. And it has for a lot of the top guys.
DJ hasn't been himself.
No. This is a line in the sand. This is the week that they've all been looking forward to. And by the way, I thought it was a little disappointing last week. They showed that Comcast top 10 on the broadcast where they get, they have all the bonuses for everything. None of the top 10 were playing in the tournament. Just a bad look.
Yeah.
Just a bad look.
It was.
But a lot of those top guys that they showed in the Comcast top 10, they've earned it, clearly. But a lot of them have not been playing well. So they look at this week, Trav, and say, this is my line in the sand. If I play well for 3 weeks, it doesn't matter if I had a bad last 5 months. I could win $15 million. That's a huge incentive, man. That is
It's a huge incentive. This is a really good golf course to kick it off. I like TPC Boston too. It's tough for me. The decision between these. I think I would give the edge to Liberty, to be honest.
I just like the scenery. I like the backgrounds. I like seeing the Statue of Liberty. It makes something for me. I just like it. I really do.
And I'll tell you why I picked the guy to win here based off of where I think the course is.
Then give it to me right now.
Let me take it.
Who do you like this week?
The winner of what's the name of it? Northern Trust 2021, Scottie Scheffler. Plus 2,800. I went for some odds. I mean, there were some others there. You could get Rory in the 20s and things like that. But, it's coming. The win is going to have to happen. I think back to Scheffler last time this year, walking around in the fairways with DJ at Boston in the final group. DJ falling out of bed, making birdies at 30 under. But Scheffler was right there as well. Scheffler makes a lot of birdies. I think his driving will be a real asset this week as well. I think the driver being long and being accurate will play a role here. So Scheffler and Rahm, Patrick Reed, when he won here, he was positive, I think like 5.5, 6 strokes in off the tee. So I think that driver, long and straight, can go a long way here. So if we can counter that with a good iron approach, make some putts, which he normally does, makes a ton of birdies. I think right now in the last 50 rounds in the field, he's made the most birdies in this field. I think the question with Scheffler is like that proximity. If he can keep his iron game sharp for 4 days, I think he does enough with the driver and the putter, and everyone kind of has their weaknesses. Like, oh, he's a great ball striker, but can he make putts? Right. Yep. Scheffler to me is like driver, major asset here. Making putts, ton of birdies. If the iron game is sharp, the proximity is sharp, which it tends to be a little bit of this with him at times, I think this is a great spot for him to get his first win. He played great golf last year at this time, and he's playing good golf right now. I mean, he's got 4 top 14s in the last 5 weeks. 3rd, 7th, there's an 8th, 14th. Heady stuff. But to win, there's got to be, that little bit more, right? You got to knock it to 12 feet instead of 20 feet. Those kinds of things with Scheffler. And I think he wins here. And I think it'd be a cool story. I think it'd be a really cool story to see Scheffler win the first leg here and get his first win on the PGA Tour.
Well, certainly he has the talent, and his issue has been Sundays, finishing on Sunday when he's in the mix, and he's right there. And he's been in the mix in a lot of big-time tournaments. So he's been there, but now he's got to cross the finish line. And is he able to do it in a playoff event when the pressure is, much higher? I don't know. But at plus 2,800, that's a great number for a player of his caliber. And just sprinkle. Never put a full unit on unless you just want to go broke very, very quickly. Just maybe a quarter of a unit or a tenth of a unit on a win. Never bet a full bet on a win in golf because that's just a disaster waiting to happen. But I love this number. Love plus 2,800. Mine is around the same type of number. And I'm going to go with a guy who has won this summer. Hasn't played great outside of that, but Patrick Cantlay won at the Memorial and sent John Rahm a big thank you note. And at plus 3,300, that shows just how poor he has played in recent times because he's normally in that plus 16 to 1,800 number. But I'm putting my gut, just like I did on JT, on Patrick Cantlay, that I think he could show up this week. He could really play well, and he could compete for the win. Lock it in.
I'm surprised by this because I know how much Patrick Cantlay. Does Patrick Cantlay annoy you more on the golf course and is no emotion more than me rubbing it in when I win money from you?
It's close.
Is it?
It's close. It's very, very close. I think for Cantlay, because for you, you've only annoyed me once. He has annoyed me for a lifetime.
Well, I can't feel better now. Thank you.
A lifetime. You only annoyed me once. So I'm going to go with Cantlay. He would be my poster child for who I would want to work with if the two ever hired me to work on branding for them.
You would be more excited than him.
I'm more excited when I'm asleep than he is awake. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much he annoys me on the golf course. But
fair enough.
If I cash a ticket this week, I promise you, I will never complain about Patrick Cantlay again. I promise you. All right, we got one more play. It's a wild card play. Could be anything on the board. Trav, what is yours?
Well, I'm going to go top 20. I was like, plus number, Rory McIlroy? You don't get that very often, right? I mean, he's played well here in the past. I always like going back, looking at places that Rory putts well at. And he putted very well here back in 19, like plus 4.5. So I like, there's those places with Rory. We know that he can struggle with the flat stick, and he has since the win at the Wells Fargo. But what has been consistent, I do think Rory has figured things out with his swing now. You go back to earlier in the summer, I believe it was around the Masters time when he started working with Pete Cowan to get rid of that hook. Mm-hmm. I think they've done a pretty good job. Rory has hit the ball quite nice. He hit the ball really, really good at St. Jude. I mean, maybe the best he had all year, but couldn't make a putt. So I like the way Rory's hitting it. Go back to some greens that he likes. We know Rory doesn't have to have his A game to finish in the top 20.
Correct.
But if he finishes +1, +2 strokes gained putting, easily in the top 20.
Love this play. Yeah. I love Rory this week.
There'll be a whole lot more than $15 on
it. I think that if I'm at home and we tell you all the time, take the information and apply it to your own bets. You may not have the matchups. You may not have whatever, but you do have guaranteed every sports book has a top 20 on Rory McIlroy.
That's right.
So take this play and make the play. And I would do it sooner rather than later because his number is not going to go up. It's only going to go down. So get that play in. Love Rory this week. I think there's some win equity in him too. I really, really do. It wouldn't be at all surprising to see him win this tournament at all. At all.
Not the way he's hitting it. I'm telling you, he's hitting it.
Absolutely.
back up to those numbers that we're accustomed to seeing Rory years ago.
Mm-hmm. This might be a week to load up because his numbers are going to plummet if he starts playing well again. And it's finding that sweet spot of really trying to find guys that are doing this, and getting them right here.
Yeah.
And so my wild card is a guy that I'm trying to hit in that sweet spot, Trav. And I'm going to go with Adam Scott. And I'm going to go with the top 20 at plus 188, which is a great number for a guy who's hitting it great. He should have won on Sunday. And he even said in his post-round interview, this is already like the playoffs for me. I'm already in playoff mode. He had to play well in order to just make it into the playoffs, and he did that. So for me, he's already in playoff mode when the other guys are not. So give me a top 20 here at almost plus 200. Lock this in.
Yeah. Well, I think the driver showed up for Adam finally last week, got it in play. He'll need it again this week. But what a move, right? 121.
Incredible.
All the way up to 80, 82. So we're, you got to get inside the top 70 now. And so Adam looking for another good week to do that. JT Poston's the guy on the number right now. 70. Bubba Watson, 71. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. You're going to have those 3, 4, 5 guys that play their way in. And you're going to have those 3, 4, 5 that come all the way out.
All the way out. And it's never a ton either. I feel like they've finally gotten the playoffs right. That the more emphasis is on the regular season now. And at the top of the points now, you really get a lot of points for a win, which is the way it's supposed to be. In any playoff scenario, if you play well, you should move on. If you play poorly, you should go home. That's the way everything is laid out. And golf should be no different. And I like the way they finally have it in place. 125, 70, 30, staggered start, 15 million. Let's go, Trav. Your final thoughts.
Well, and I like also that it's only 3 events.
Love that.
Not 4. I like that there's 3 preseason NFL tournament or games as well, and not 4. 3 is better than 4.
Yes.
I would even say 2 is better than 3 when it comes to preseason, but not the playoffs. We'll go 3. Liberty National. It's going to be fun. Obviously this week, a lot of names in and out, but top 70 going to BMW next week, which we'll cover at Caves Valley, which will be fun to look at. That's a new course.
By the way, what do you make of it going to Maryland instead of staying in the Chicago area?
Not my favorite, not my favorite move, but at the same time, let's give Caves Valley its due.
Okay.
And then of course the top 30 will go down to the Tour Championship. Look, I'm in. I love the playoffs. I think it's great. I love the movement. I think there's a lot of storylines here. And with the Ryder Cup on the back end of this baby, there's just that even more incentive now to go out and play well and win. For a lot of people, they're going to have to win WEBB, Kokrak. I think Kisner is going to have to win one of these, to get themselves solidified on that team.
I love the stories within the stories.
Yeah.
And this is a great time of year. And the biggest thing the PGA Tour did was move all the playoffs to end before football season
Yes, sir.
starts.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. All right, we are fired up. We've got you set. Take the information and apply it to anybody that you want to play. There's so many different bets out there. Be smart, money management, build that bank account. All right? That's going to do it for us. Remember, every single week, this is your golf betting sports show of record. If you're going to cash out, why not cash out with the coaches? Good luck.
Yep.
Hey guys, what's good? This is the coach. You may know me from PGA Tour Live, the Golf Channel, or even ESPN. I wanted to interrupt this YouTube video real quick to tell you how to get the best and most entertaining golf betting content every single week, and it's all for free. It's called Cash Out with the Coaches. I've teamed up with legendary golf instructor Travis Fulton, and he's also a PGA Tour insider, to bring you the unscripted, unfiltered PGA Tour betting talk and analysis. All you have to do is subscribe to SportsPub's new channel, and you'll get access to our Cash Out with the Coaches show before every single PGA Tour event. You can also play along with the coaches, too. We don't hold anything back on this free show, and all you have to do is subscribe to SportsPub's channel with the button on the video, and you'll have access to every single show. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Can't wait to see you on the channel.
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Just driving around thinking, what else I could get with Coach's money. Another week on the PGA Tour. Another bet. Just more money coming this way via Coach's Venmo account. It's like a funnel every single week. It's like just like an automatic deposit on our bets. Got these glasses last month. Thanks, Coach. And then I got these a couple weeks ago. Love these little pods, from Apple. You get it, they go in your ear. Thanks, Coach. So anyway, I don't know. Just thinking what else I could get when the deposit hits on Monday. Thanks, Coach. Win a championship. We'll see you on Tuesday for another bet on Cash Out. Peace.